That alone is a miracle. But somewhere between waking up and facing the mirror, you forgot. You forgot that you're worthy. You forgot that you matter. You forgot that the most important love story of your life isn't out there. It's right here with you. Self-love. Two simple words that hold the power to transform everything. Yet for most of your life, you've been taught that loving yourself is selfish, that putting yourself first is wrong, that caring for your own heart is somehow less important than caring for everyone else's. So, you gave and gave until you were empty. You prioritized others until you disappeared. You loved everyone except the one person who needed it most, you. Today, that narrative ends. Today, you remember. Today, you reclaim the most sacred relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Because everything in your life flows from this single source. Your peace, your joy, your boundaries, your dreams, your relationships, all of it begins with how you treat yourself when no one else is watching. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength begins with how you speak to yourself. It begins with recognizing that you're worthy, not because of what you accomplish or how others see you, but simply because you exist. Self-love is waking up and choosing kindness toward yourself before you choose anything else. It's saying no without guilt. It's resting without shame. It's feeding your soul the way you'd care for someone you deeply cherish. Because you are that someone. You've always been. This isn't about perfection. It's about acceptance. It's about looking at your reflection and saying, "I see you. I hear you. I'm staying." Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Self-love is the gentle hand that catches you when you stumble, the voice that says, "Try again," instead of "give up." So today, let this message sink deep into your bones. Let it remind you that loving yourself isn't the destination. It's the journey. Every day, you get to choose it again. Every morning, you get to begin again. And the more you practice this sacred act of self-love, the more you'll realize you were never too much or not enough. You were always exactly what you needed to be. Before we go deeper, I need you to do something for me. If this message is already touching your heart, hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you're ready to transform your mornings and your life, subscribe to this channel. Don't skip a single part of this video. Stay with me. Your soul needs this. If your heart just said yes, type this now. I am worthy of my own love. Number 1. The mirror of truth. Every morning you pass by mirrors. Sometimes you glance, sometimes you stare, sometimes you look away. But how often do you really see yourself? Not the surface, not the imperfections you've been trained to focus on, but the soul behind the eyes. The heart that's been beating for you since day one. The spirit that's carried you through every storm. Self-love begins with honest seeing. It begins when you stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. It begins when you stop using other people's definitions of beauty, success, and worth to measure yourself. The world has given you 1,000 mirrors that distort your reflection, making you believe you're not enough until you look a certain way, achieve certain things, or receive certain validations. But here's the truth that will set you free. You are already whole, not broken, not incomplete, not waiting to become worthy. You are worthy now, in this moment, exactly as you are. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "No one can hurt you without your consent," and that includes you. You cannot hurt yourself with harsh judgments and cruel self-talk without your own consent. Today, you withdraw that consent. Stand in front of that mirror differently today. Look into your own eyes and recognize the warrior looking back. That person has survived 100% of their worst days. That person has kept going when giving up seemed easier. That person has loved, lost, stumbled, risen, tried again. That person deserves your respect, your compassion, your love. The mirror of truth isn't about ignoring areas where you want to grow. It's about seeing the whole picture. Yes, you have flaws. Everyone does. Yes, you've made mistakes. Everyone has. But you also have strengths that are uniquely yours. You have a laugh that brightens rooms. You have hands that create, comfort, and build. You have a mind full of thoughts that matter. You have a presence that impacts others in ways you'll never fully know. When you practice self-love, you practice accurate seeing. You stop magnifying your weaknesses while minimizing your strengths. You stop giving yourself the harshest criticism you'd never give a friend. You start treating yourself with the same grace you extend to others. You start believing that your needs matter, your feelings are valid, and your dreams are worth pursuing. This doesn't mean you become arrogant or self-absorbed. True self-love is humble. It recognizes that you're human, beautifully flawed, doing your best with what you have. It recognizes that you're learning, growing, evolving. It recognizes that some days you'll shine and some days you'll struggle, and both versions of you deserve love. The mirror of truth also means facing what you've been avoiding. Maybe it's acknowledging that you're tired and need rest. Maybe it's admitting that a relationship is draining you. Maybe it's recognizing that you've been living someone else's dream instead of your own. Self-love gives you the courage to face these truths without falling apart. It gives you the strength to say, "This needs to change, and I'm worth the effort it takes to change it." Start today with this practice. Look at yourself and say 3 kind truths out loud. Not generic compliments, but genuine recognitions. I showed up today even though it was hard. I was kind to that stranger. I'm learning to set boundaries. Let your own voice be the first voice of encouragement you hear each day. The world will give you plenty of criticism. It will point out your flaws, your failures, your shortcomings. But when you look in the mirror and choose to see yourself through eyes of love, you build an inner fortress that no external judgment can penetrate. You build a foundation of self-worth that doesn't crumble when life gets hard. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "Confine yourself to the present." The mirror of truth isn't about dwelling on past versions of yourself or anxiously awaiting future versions. It's about loving who you are right now, in this present moment. Because this present moment is all you truly have. And the you that exists right now is deserving of your love. So, look again. See yourself clearly. See yourself kindly. See yourself truly. And let that vision guide how you treat yourself for the rest of this day. See yourself clearly. See yourself kindly. Comment, "I see my true worth." Number 2. The garden you tend. Your mind is a garden. Every thought you plant is a seed. Every belief you water becomes a tree. Every pattern you repeat creates the landscape of your inner world. And right now, if you look around that garden honestly, what do you see? Is it blooming with flowers of kindness or overrun with weeds of self-doubt? Are you planting seeds of possibility or letting thorns of old pain take over? Self-love is the act of becoming a conscious gardener of your own mind. It's recognizing that you have more control than you think over what grows inside you. You can't control every seed that lands in your garden. Life throws plenty at you without permission. But you absolutely control which ones you water, which ones you nurture, and which ones you pull out by the roots. For too long, maybe you've been watering the wrong things. Watering the voice that says you're not good enough. Feeding the belief that you're behind everyone else. nurturing the fear that you'll never change. These are weeds disguised as truth, and they've been choking out the beautiful things trying to grow in you. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your mind will create gardens of suffering if you let it run wild without care. But when you practice self-love, you become intentional. You start asking, is this thought helping me grow or holding me back? Is this belief serving me or harming me? Does this pattern deserve my energy? Think about how you speak to yourself in moments of failure. When you make a mistake, do you say, "I'm so stupid, I always mess things up"? Or do you say, "That didn't go as planned, but I'm learning"? The difference isn't just semantics. It's the difference between planting poison and planting nourishment. Self-love means catching those harsh words before they take root and replacing them with truth that helps you grow. This doesn't mean toxic positivity. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. A good gardener doesn't ignore the weeds or pretend the drought isn't happening. They face reality and work with it. Self-love is honest. It says, yes, I'm struggling right now, and I'm going to be gentle with myself through it. It says, this is hard, and I'm allowed to feel this, and I'm still worthy of care. Your garden also needs pruning. There are relationships that drain you, commitments that exhaust you, habits that no longer serve you. Self-love gives you permission to cut away what's dead so new growth can happen. This isn't selfish. This is survival. A tree that refuses to drop its dead branches will eventually collapse under their weight. You are allowed to let go of what's weighing you down. And here's what's beautiful. When you tend your inner garden with love, it affects everything around you. People feel the difference. They notice your peace. They're drawn to your authenticity. They see someone who respects themselves enough to protect their energy, and it gives them permission to do the same. Your self-love becomes an invitation for others to love themselves too. Start paying attention to your self-talk today. Notice when you're planting weeds. Stop mid-thought if you need to, and replant something kinder. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, pause and ask, is that true, or is that fear talking? When you hear, I'm not as good as them, stop and ask, why am I comparing my journey to theirs? Feed your mind the way you'd feed a beloved garden. Give it sunlight through time in nature. Give it water through rest and stillness. Give it nutrients through books, conversations, and experiences that make you grow. Pull the weeds by questioning negative patterns. Plant new seeds by trying things that scare you, by speaking kindly to yourself, by believing in your own potential. Remember, a garden doesn't bloom overnight. You won't transform your mind in a day, but every morning you wake up and choose to tend it with love, you're creating change. Every time you replace a harsh thought with a gentle one, you're planting new possibility. Every time you say no to what drains you and yes to what fills you, you're making space for beauty to grow. Your mind is the only garden you'll tend for your entire life. Make it a place you want to live. What will you nurture today? Affirm it. I choose what I nurture. Number 3, the permission you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for permission. Permission to rest when you're tired. Permission to say no without a long explanation. Permission to choose yourself without feeling guilty. Permission to want more, to dream bigger, to take up space. You've been standing at the door of your own life, waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to walk through. Here's what you need to hear. You don't need anyone's permission to love yourself. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to wait until you're thinner, richer, more successful, or more together. You don't need your parents' approval, your partner's validation, or society's stamp of worthiness. The permission you've been waiting for can only come from one person, you. Self-love is radical permission. It's giving yourself the green light to exist as you are, to need what you need, to feel what you feel, It's releasing yourself from the prison of other people's expectations. It's understanding that you're allowed to change your mind, change your path, change your life, even if it disappoints someone else. Think about how much energy you've spent seeking approval, adjusting your personality to fit in, dimming your light so others feel comfortable, apologizing for having boundaries, sacrificing your peace to keep the peace, putting yourself last on an endless list of everyone else's needs. This isn't noble, this isn't love, this is self-abandonment dressed up as virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. We give strangers more authority over our worth than we give ourselves. We let one critical comment outweigh 100 compliments. We change who we are based on who's watching, and in the process, we lose ourselves completely." Self-love says, "I give myself permission to disappoint people, not because I want to hurt anyone, but because I cannot twist myself into shapes that betray my truth just to make others comfortable. I give myself permission to be imperfect, to be a work in progress, to not have it all figured out. I give myself permission to rest without productivity, to eat without guilt, to take up space without apologizing." This permission extends to your emotions too. You're allowed to be sad without needing to explain why. You're allowed to be angry without being told you're overreacting. You're allowed to be joyful without waiting for the other shoe to drop. Your feelings are valid simply because you're feeling them. They don't need to make sense to anyone else. They don't need to be justified or rationalized. They're yours, and they're real, and that's enough. You're also allowed to change. The person you were 5 years ago doesn't have to be the person you are today. You can outgrow relationships, careers, cities, and versions of yourself. You can decide that something you once wanted no longer serves you. Growth isn't betrayal. Evolution isn't failure. Self-love means giving yourself permission to become who you're meant to be, even if it means leaving behind who you used to be. And here's the permission that might be hardest to accept. You're allowed to put yourself first sometimes, not in a selfish, harmful way, but in a necessary, life-giving way. You're allowed to say, "I can't help with that right now because I need to take care of myself." You're allowed to skip the event because you're exhausted. You're allowed to end the conversation because it's draining your energy. You're allowed to choose your peace over people-pleasing. This doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a healthy person. It makes you someone who understands that you can't serve from an empty vessel. It makes you someone who respects themselves enough to protect their energy. And ironically, when you give yourself this permission, you become more available for the people and things that truly matter. Not out of obligation, but out of genuine love and overflow. Stop waiting for the world to tell you it's okay to love yourself. The world is busy, distracted, and dealing with its own pain. Your permission slip isn't coming from out there. It's already inside you, waiting to be signed. Today, sign it. Give yourself full, unconditional permission to honor your needs, respect your limits, and love yourself fiercely. You are allowed to be your own priority. Starting now, you don't need anyone's approval. Declare it. I release all guilt. Number 4, the voice that shapes your world. There's a voice that follows you everywhere. It's the first voice you hear in the morning and the last one before sleep. It comments on everything you do, every choice you make, every reflection you see. It's been with you longer than any friend, any relationship, any job. It's the voice inside your head, your inner voice. And the question you need to ask yourself today is, would you let anyone else speak to you the way you speak to yourself? Most of us wouldn't tolerate a friend who constantly criticized us, pointed out every flaw, reminded us of every failure, and told us we'd never be enough. We'd walk away from that relationship without hesitation. Yet we allow that exact voice to live rent-free in our minds, running commentary on our lives 24 hours a day. We let it tear us down, drain our confidence, and steal our peace. And we call it being realistic or staying humble. Self-love is taking back control of that voice. It's recognizing that the narrator of your life story doesn't have to be cruel. It can be kind. It can be encouraging. It can be honest without being brutal. It can push you to grow without crushing your spirit. The voice in your head is yours to shape, and shaping it is one of the most powerful acts of self-love you'll ever practice. Epictetus taught that we're disturbed not by events themselves, but by our views of them. Your inner voice creates those views. Two people can experience the same setback, but one tells themselves, "I'm a failure, I'll never succeed," while the other says, "This didn't work, but I learned something valuable." Same event, different voices, completely different outcomes. Your inner voice doesn't just describe your reality, it creates it. Think about a recent mistake you made. Now replay the conversation you had with yourself afterward. Were you compassionate, saying, "It's okay, everyone makes mistakes. What can I learn from this?" Or were you harsh, saying, "How could you be so stupid? You always mess things up"? That voice isn't telling you truth. It's telling you a story, and you get to decide if that story empowers you or destroys you. Changing your inner voice takes practice. It's like retraining a muscle that's been tense for years. You have to catch the negative thoughts as they arise. You have to pause and ask, is this helping me or hurting me? Is this true or just fear speaking? Would I say this to someone I love? And then you have to consciously choose a different response. When you look in the mirror and hear, "You look terrible," stop and reframe. "I'm tired today, and that's okay. My worth isn't determined by how I look." When you make a mistake and hear, "You're such an idiot," interrupt with, "I'm human. I'm learning. This doesn't define me." When you face a challenge and hear, "You can't do this," replace it with, "This is hard, but I've done hard things before." This isn't about lying to yourself or pretending problems don't exist. It's about speaking to yourself with the same respect, patience, and encouragement you'd offer someone you care about. It's about becoming your own best friend instead of your own worst enemy. Your inner voice also affects how you receive love from others. If you constantly tell yourself you're unworthy, you'll sabotage relationships because you won't believe anyone could genuinely love you. You'll dismiss compliments, push away affection, and create distance to protect yourself from the inevitable rejection you believe is coming. But when your inner voice is kind, when it reminds you of your worth, you can receive love without suspicion. You can accept kindness without waiting for the catch. Start monitoring your self-talk like it's the most important conversation you'll ever have. Because it is. Write down the cruel things you say to yourself. Look at them on paper. Would you say these things to a child, to your best friend, to anyone you love? If the answer is no, then why are you saying them to yourself? Begin replacing each harsh statement with a truthful, kind alternative. Not fake positivity, but genuine compassion. "I'm behind everyone else" becomes, "I'm on my own timeline, and that's perfectly okay." "Nobody likes me" becomes, "I'm still finding my people, and that takes time." "I'm not good enough" becomes, "I'm doing my best with what I have right now." Your inner voice is powerful beyond measure. It can lift you up or tear you down. It can open doors or close them. It can create possibility or limitation. Today, choose to make it a voice of love. Choose to make it a voice that believes in you, supports you, and reminds you of your strength when you forget. The conversation you have with yourself sets the tone for every other conversation in your life. Make it one worth having. Change the voice. change your life. Comment, my words create my world. Number 5, the boundaries that set you free. There's a word that might be hard for you to say. 2 letters, 1 syllable, a complete sentence. No. You've spent so much time saying yes. Yes to demands on your time. Yes to requests that drain you. Yes to people who take without giving. Yes to situations that hurt you. You've said yes when your whole body was screaming no. You've said yes out of guilt, obligation, fear of disappointing others, fear of being seen as selfish, fear of being left alone. Self-love is learning to say no without apology. It's understanding that boundaries aren't walls you build to keep people out. They're guidelines you create to keep yourself whole. They're the invisible lines that protect your energy, your peace, your time, and your heart. And without them, you become a doormat for everyone else's needs while your own go completely ignored. Think about your life right now. How many commitments are you keeping out of obligation rather than genuine desire? How many relationships are you maintaining that leave you feeling empty? How many conversations are you enduring that disrespect your values? How many times do you say, "I'm fine," when you're falling apart because you don't want to burden anyone? These are all signs that your boundaries are either too weak or non-existent. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." He understood that while you can't control what others do, you absolutely control how much access they have to you. You control whether you engage or disengage. You control whether you allow someone's chaos to become your chaos. You control the gate to your inner peace, and self-love means guarding that gate with wisdom. Healthy boundaries look like this: saying no to plans when you need rest, even if someone is disappointed. Ending phone calls that have turned toxic. Refusing to justify your decisions to people who aren't living your life. Not responding to every text immediately just because someone expects it. Taking time for yourself without explaining why. Leaving situations that make you feel small. These aren't acts of rudeness, they're acts of self-respect. But here's what stops most people from setting boundaries: guilt. You feel guilty for prioritizing yourself. You feel guilty for disappointing others. You feel guilty for not being everything to everyone all the time. That guilt has been planted in you by a culture that celebrates self-sacrifice and martyrdom. That guilt is a lie. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you don't have. Setting boundaries will upset some people. That's not your problem to fix. People who are used to you having no boundaries will call you selfish when you start creating them. People who benefited from your people-pleasing will resist your growth. People who took advantage of your kindness will try to guilt you back into old patterns. Let them be upset. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your well-being is. Boundaries also mean knowing when to walk away. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. Not every job deserves your loyalty. Not every argument is worth having. Self-love is recognizing when something is consistently harmful and having the courage to release it. Staying in situations that deplete you isn't loyalty, it's self-betrayal. You're allowed to outgrow people, places, and versions of yourself. Start small if boundaries feel scary. Practice saying, "Let me think about it," instead of immediately saying yes. Practice saying, "That doesn't work for me," without offering a long explanation. Practice putting your phone on silent when you need peace. Practice leaving events early if you're exhausted.